I die. This'll be the day that I die. Now for 10 years we've been on our own.
Welcome back, everyone. A little Don McLean for you on this Thursday. Live pictures from Sky Harbor Airport with this song went #1 on the charts 50 years ago this week.
Yeah, and it held the record for the longest song, time-wise, to be on the top of the charts. And it held that until Taylor Swift just beat it very, very soon.
Amazing.
And so we were in a special treat this morning. First of all, Don McLean is here. Hello, Don.
Hey,
How are
Don.
you? Great to see you. You look
Good
amazing.
Morning.
Don's going to be here July 9th. At the Orpheum Theater, which will be an awesome show. You got to check it out. But Don, can you believe? I saw it was February 5th, 1972 that American Pie went #1. Can you believe 50 years have passed?
It's hard to believe, but I did sound good. So that's nice.
You still sound pretty darn good.
I'm sure you still do.
Good for
I
you.
will always be a young man. That's what I like about the music business. It's very good.
Does it keep you young?
Oh, definitely. I can't wait to start singing and traveling again. I mean, I've done a lot of things since I've been home these last year and 8 months. I've got a new album I'm going to launch next year. It's all done. I've got all new songs. I've got a YouTube website that we put up with 11 albums and 173 tracks to get that started. We've got a documentary movie being made for Viacom about called The Day the Music Died, the making of Don McLean's American Pie. We're gonna go all over every single. They're in my house right now today in New Rochelle. The film crew is in my house. They're in my bedroom.
Oh.
On the second floor.
Sounds a little personal.
Yeah, a little. Just only slightly invasive. But I mean, when you think about that, Don, what you just said was you're having an entire documentary done on one song, which shows you how iconic it is. You know, we studied your song when I was freshman year in English. We broke it all down, and I remember my teacher at the time saying, "Yeah, when Don's talking about the Jester, he's talking about Bob Dylan." And I was just reading notes on that, and that's kind of what it's all about, or part of it anyway.
Well, the funny thing is, and this is what I've been saying to people, that I mention James Dean in the song by name. Mm-hmm. If I had wanted to say that the Jester was Bob Dylan, I would have said Dylan. If I'd wanted to say the King was Elvis Presley, I would have said Elvis. The King in my song has a thorny crown, and only Christ had a thorny crown.
That's true.
So there are all sorts of reasons why I don't get into trying to, I have to say, dumb down the lyrics by making it into some little board game or something, which would be a good thing for it to be. I think American Pie would make a great board game and a great video game. And I wish somebody
There's
would
the
do
next
it.
move.
Marketing, sure, why not?
I mean, you did mention YouTube and the whole rest. You mentioned all these things you've been working on and the projects, and you have the film crew there at your house over the last 1.5 to 2 years. What has it really been like for you to produce music now compared to back then? You've really seen the industry change, but at the same time, what you do, is it the same thing as, you sit down and you write and you make music?
Yeah, well, you got Ed Sheeran.
Yes.
And Ed Sheeran is as big as Taylor Swift. And between those two artists, you have the extremes of the music business. In the one hand, you have a young lady who is dominating and has to do so many different things. I mean, when she does a show, she's got to have dancers and all kinds of millions of dollars to put a show on. She's got to make these incredibly good videos and write these songs and make these albums. And then she's got to always be a fashion icon, which she is. On the other hand, you've got a guy who comes out in his shorts and a T-shirt and one guitar and a little electronics, and he draws 90,000 people. So there's room for any kind of thing in between as well, and so if I were starting out now, I would, of course, have my sights set on learning everything that Ed Sheeran did, how he did what he did, because
Good
that
point.
would be for me.
Yeah.
It's incredible how he layers and puts things together.
Yeah.
And he is a genius
really
with what he
amazing.
does. So Don, let's talk about you. You wrote a #1 song 50 years ago. You're still producing new music. Is it one of those things that the music, you're constantly writing it in your head, it comes out of you like sweat or like your breath? Do you have to write music? Is that just part of your being?
Yes, I go for long periods of time when I don't write anything. And then I'll get inspired by something, write a song or two, and then I'll start thinking, well, I got some ideas to go with that one. I think in terms of albums, really, more than singles. American Pie was supposed to be a summing up of everything, like all roads lead to Rome, type of a thing. It was after all the other songs on the album would point toward this finale. It was what it was, really, a big finale, like in a show. And instead they put it first. I wanted it last, but it belongs as first because you put your best foot forward. Right. You know, when you make an album, you put the best stuff out right away. You know, you know, there was that, and then it was very long. So the idea of it being a hit was, in my opinion, not something I was thinking about. But the record company loved the song, and they put out a 3-minute version, which zoomed to #1. And then what I had done, I had been kind of an underground artist. In those days, FM radio was called underground radio. You had AM and FM on the same station. And it was the smarter people, you know, not the young little teenies, but the college guys, you know, and there'd always be an underground disc jockey, you know, that was Don McLean.
Yeah.
Wow,
Very
I sure love
raspy
that.
voice.
I love that 3 Flights Up. What a great record. Let's hear the whole thing. So they'd play the whole thing. They'd play the whole album.
Wow.
Wow, that's neat.
I think so. I developed a huge underground following, and when the next record came out, which was Tapestry, all those people bought the record, and they heard this short little thing on the top 40, and they were calling in and say, that's not the song, you know. And so they had to bring the album, I guess the 8-track, into the studio to play the whole song, and that's how the 8.5-minute version became #1.
Yeah.
Because of the work I'd done before, you know.
And it held the record.
It really did.
All that time.
Song.
I mean, I remember the last time I was talking about you on this show was when Taylor Swift came out with her longer one. What was that like when somebody called you up and said, hey, your 49-year run as the longest #1 song is through?
Well, I was on, you know, I've had so many amazing things happen because the songs are like my emissaries, you know. They go out in the world and they affect people's lives, and there are a lot of things between Vincent and American Pie. You know, there are people that have learned to love art and, you know, love the song. And then American Pie, they learned about Buddy Holly and politics and, you know, what does America mean and where is it going? And there's a lot of discussion about all this stuff. And I'm just doing my own thing, you know, ride my horse or something, you know, like I used to do. I'm paying no attention to anything, and then I'll get some person who's incredibly talented, like a Taylor Swift, writing me a lovely note.
Aw.
Oh, that was nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, really, it's a beautiful thing, you know, and I feel very blessed and very, I'm very fortunate.
Well, you must be excited to perform again here in Phoenix, and congratulations on the big tour. Are you excited for that coming up?
Yeah, I'm just going to take it one day at a time, you know, and try to get my rest and not talk too much because I want to save my voice for the road.
Right. And we're taxing you this morning.
Take precautions, you know, and
Yeah.
not catch this damn thing.
Good call.
Well, you
Don
sound
McLean.
great.
Yeah, you do. You sound, your
And
voice
you look
sounds
great
really good.
also.
So July 9th, Orpheum Theater, great historic venue right here in downtown Phoenix. The great Don McLean. Thank you, Don. Great
Hey,
talking
Don.
with you this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
All the best to you. Stay healthy and well.
take care. Such a good song.
Oh, my goodness.
Right.
What a great guy with some perspective on music.
Yeah, wisdom. All those years in the music biz.
Yeah.